Hello, shooters, loaders, and casters. Welcome to the Georgia Shooting Connection Friday night live stream. I wish y'all could see Mario cutting a rug to that fancy music. And welcome in, everybody. Thank y'all for being here. Um, please excuse our tardiness. I am fighting the struggle bus with internet tonight. So if I'm not here all of a sudden, you'll know why. So, Hillbilly, how was your week?
Oh man, pretty good. Talking about that struggle bus. I didn't know anybody else was on that thing with me. I seem to ride that every day.
I was in the back pushing. There wasn't room for me.
Oh man, no, good week. Cold and snow outside, but thank goodness Hasbro, he came up with a couple of BB gun challenges, so I was getting to go to the range in the hallway. Last few
saw
days.
That video. That's a smart looking BB shooter you got there.
Yeah, I had a lot of fun with that, and so we got another video of that coming up. But we're looking at sunshine tomorrow and actually get above freezing temperatures. So hopefully back out on the range. So thanks for having me. Always a lot of fun. Great side chat out there. CW, what you been up to, brother?
I've been playing with contenders, doing some loading. We've had really, really cold temperatures, so I want to get out and do some casting, but I'm just not able to. It's just too cold. My fans won't run. It's been single digits or just above every morning this week, so it's just it's too cold to be out there. So I've been indoors doing reloading and farting around with the contenders, and it's been almost 3 weeks since I've been to the range. So I've got to. Next week, we're supposed to get a little warmer. We're supposed to be up in the 30s and the 40s. So looks like I'll probably get out there next week, Lord willing. Kentucky, Chad, how you doing? How's that water doing?
Well, the water is down back to practically normal. They're still draining the lakes because the lakes is getting full. So we're back to normal as far as the flooding is just clean up now. That's what I've spent my week doing, is helping friends clean up, and then my wife had a procedure on Wednesday, so I was able to take her to that and be there for her on that. And today I didn't do much of nothing because it's just we got some snow and it didn't get out of the 20s, so I have not been to the range in a while. So same as Hillbilly, I shot BB guns today, and I didn't ride the struggle bus. I rode the short bus.
And sometimes I think you're part Eskimo, Chad. I see you out there shooting that cold weather and snow, brother.
And well, when you work out in it every day, you get used to it, I guess. And then Hillbilly, he's got me shopping for one of them big fancy BB guns. That thing's got a 4-end on everything, like a 52A.
I will not lie. I did look it up.
Oh man, it's a good gun. It just had a better shooter behind it.
I get around you guys, you're spending my money. What about you, Gene?
Oh, happy to be here. This cold's been hanging on to me, and been really busy at work, so I've been passing out in the recliner a lot. But oh man, I bought one of those BB guns. I bought one of those bug assault guns. So I'm gonna start setting some targets up and doing some shooting with that thing, man. That's a blast. That's gonna be fun this summer. And they got a revolver version, so I'm gonna pick that up tomorrow after the Glock shoot. But now, just happy to be here. Man, let's have a good show. How about you, Rick?
Hey, hi, everybody. Well, it's been a pretty good week for me, I guess, other than I've been sick, sinuses and stuff. Ain't sleeping very good. Work's been all right, so weather's been bad here, too. It's rare to see in Texas. We've been all week in the between 20s and 40s. We haven't been above 40 all week, so it's been a little cool. A lot of wind. As far as doing anything else, I haven't done a whole lot other than some deep priming of brass and cleaning it. That's about it for me. What about you, Walter?
Well, first of all, can you all see this line that kind of goes across here? Yeah, that's the Rocky Mountains. And we see how you guys treat us left-siders down here. Us down here in the basement, everybody on the west side of the Rockies is down here in this hole. But us guys here on the left side, it was 77 degrees here on the central coast of California today, and where our brother Mario lives is about the same way. So you guys, anyway, that's for putting us in the basement. Yeah, besides all that, I'm really happy to be here as I am every Friday night. It's so much fun to get in here and get a chance to interact with the folks over there in the side chat. We love each and every one of you guys, and it's just a real a great time here for me anyway to get to talk to everybody. I had a good week. I got to the range on Monday. Took a friend of mine with me, and she outshot me, which didn't take much, as you guys know. And what else we do? Got some casting done, got some reloading done. I got a new firearm coming that I get to go break out of California jail next week. Found me a Model 10. They're not easy to get out here in California, but Lipsy's, which is one of the distributors, had one that's our California roster guys. If they change one thing on the firearm, like change the grips, the Smith & Wesson changes the grips, it goes off the roster and we can't get it anymore. So this outfit had a bunch of them. I found one, and so I'd been looking for one for a while. So I'll show you guys that in a video when it gets in. It's toward the end of the week next week. So yeah, good week here. So my brother Mario, what's happening?
And a 3, 2, 1. Hey! What's going on, everybody? Mario here. No, man. It's been a balmy 70 degrees here in Bakersfield. Sorry, guys. We might have dumb politicians, but we have great weather here. No, I'm just doing well, guys. I've been really productive week for me at work, and haven't had a chance to do much reloading. I did get Walter's bullets, so that's definitely one of the things I want to try. Hopefully reload some of it on Sunday, and maybe next week I'll get a chance to go to the range. But appreciate you guys having me on. Always love to be part of this. So thanks, guys.
Okay, we got a semi-late arrival. Scotsman, how was your week, my brother?
Howdy, folks. Good to be here. It's been a long week. Been on 10-hour days, so long week, short but long. Good to be here. Good to see everyone out there. Glad to be here. Glad to be somewhat on time. A little bit late. Sorry, folks. But good to be here and looking forward to the chat.
We're all looking forward to it. I want to take just a second to explain the comment pinned at the top of the chat. Y'all, if y'all saw us on live, when was it? Tuesday night, Hillbilly?
Tuesday night and again Thursday night. Yeah.
Yeah, I missed the one Thursday. There's a GoFundMe link pinned up there. You guys are awesome. A lot of y'all have already made a donation to the cause. But when we asked Kentucky Rimefire about the water up there, it's because he's trying to raise money for a young married couple that got washed out there, got flooded, and we'll let Chad talk about it a little bit if he wants to. Are you there, Kentucky?
Yeah, and Jamie, I'm gonna post this real quick, this GoFundMe, so people go over there, they can at least see what it looks like, and that's where we're at right now. And so
So if you guys want to go over to my channel, I have a video over there called Bad Day in Kentucky, and it looks like a lake in front of my house. I live up on a hill looking down into my neighbors, and you can't see a stream of water anywhere in sight when you look out my door on a normal day. And pretty much had a lake in front of my house for a couple of days. My neighbors, they live in a single wide trailer. She just got out of nursing school and started a nursing career last year, and he's been going to diesel mechanic school and trying to become a diesel mechanic. He's actually working as a diesel mechanic now. Just getting started in life. They just got married last year. Started out in a single wide trailer. They had insurance on their trailer, but flood insurance was not available to them, and we had the worst flood that we've had since 1984. I thought it was going to be worse than the one in 77, but it wasn't. The worst two floods we've ever had was 77 and 84. And this one here was worse than 84. So it got 8 foot into my neighbor's trailer. And we went down, and after the water receded, we started cleaning the trailer out. All their furniture was particle board material, so it's all swelled, busted. Their couches was saturated in water, beds, everything. Their refrigerator had floated it up and turned it upside down. The floors was already buckling in the trailer. The walls was buckling. The house is a total loss, and they don't have insurance. And there's many other people here in the county that got hit as well. But I just felt led to help my neighbor. And I've known this boy since he was a young boy, and I've known his dad for quite some time. And I work out of town for a living, and when things go south at my house, I've had water leaks. My wife's got scared thinking somebody was outside on her. Those two guys are my go-to. I can call them and they'll come to my wife at a drop of a hat, and they've taken care of me several times, and I feel like that I should try to do something for them because they've lost everything, and just trying to pay it forward. And I didn't think of this on my own. I basically put out a post asking, or I put out a video asking for people to pray for Eastern Kentucky, and my coach in Minnesota Shooting Sports, he said, start a GoFundMe. I'll be the first one to put $100 in there. So I did, and we started out the first day or two. We were just shy of $300, and Hillbilly called me and said, do you mind if we do a couple lives this week and get some prizes donated? And if for anybody that makes a donation, they can come on my live Saturday night. And if they make a donation, if you make a donation, it don't matter if it's $1, $5, $10. If you make a donation and you qualify for prizes on Hillbilly's live stream on Saturday nights, but you have to be present to win. And the deadline for the giveaway prizes, there's no deadline for the GoFundMe. I'm going to keep it open as long as it's getting traction and we're raising money for them. We'll leave it open. But as far as the giveaway prizes that have been donated by myself, Hillbilly, Moondog, Minnesota Mike, Minnesota Shooting Sports, Jeremy at Firearms and Fellowship, Nibs at Walnut and Steel, Pat in the Bunker. There's there is several knives being given away, 2 or 3 scopes, a Tacticam camera with the scope adapter, and so the Tacticam can film through the scope. A red dot RMR. I'm forgetting what all is. There's a range bag. A lot of nice items are being given away, and like I said, just a donation of $1 gets you entered into that giveaway. But the deadline is at noon on Saturday, Central Time. That way, Hillbilly and I will have time to compile names of everybody that's entered and get them put onto the wheel for the drawing. So, if you want to donate, feel free to go over to that GoFundMe and make a donation, and you'll be entered to win. And if you don't want to win, uh, if you don't want prizes, just send me or Hillbilly a message and say, I donated, but I don't want to be on the wheel for the drawings. And if you don't want to use GoFundMe, Hillbilly, I think he has a picture he can put up of my Cash App, my Venmo, and my PayPal. Um, we will take payment that way also. They are my next door neighbors. When I leave here every day, I have to see the mess that has been put on them, and um, I feel like it's the least I could do just to try to help. And I didn't think that I would get as far as I have with this, but because of you guys, um, we are at $3,026 when I looked about 2 minutes ago, which is awesome. And I can't thank you guys enough. Um, but that's pretty much all I got. Hillbilly, if I left anything out, you can help me along with that.
Yeah, and sorry, I went to share the wrong picture. Let me bring this one up where you got your Venmo and stuff. So sorry, I thought I had it ready, but I didn't. But now it is. So here is Chad's Cash App, Venmo, PayPal, and then the GoFundMe links posted at the top of the side chat. And also, we don't leave anybody out. I know Gizzard Gary, Hasbro, George in Kentucky, and I think there's probably a few others. I think you said Moondog. But anyway, there's a lot of people that's really stepped up and like donated stuff. And when I talked to Chad Monday, there literally within 2 hours, I made a few phone calls, and people were happy to jump on, share on their channel, and come up with prizes. I mean, just within a 2 hour notice on Monday, and that just kind of tells you how awesome this community is. And then people just kept piling in with the giveaways and everything, and there's some great stuff. And I'm going to be giving away something too. I'll announce it tomorrow night. And so, but yeah, it's.
Well, let me say this. So I didn't really know what was going on. I hadn't seen Chad's video yet. Working longer hours. I haven't been watching a ton of videos. But I got a text from Hillbilly. And I called Hillbilly probably, I don't know, a couple hours after I got the text when I went to break. And it almost kind of sounded like he was hesitant to tell me what was going on to start with. But once he told me, he's like, hey, this is what we're doing and this is what we want to try to do. And that, it's like, look, man, we all come together. This is what we do. And Chad, I know you say you're kind of surprised to see how much has been raised. but I've said this so many times over the years. I've been doing this now for close to 10 years, and I am just dumbfounded at how incredible our community is and how fast they come together and how impressive it is to see when people hear about something going on that they jump in and do what they got to do and just make it happen. And, I've said it many, many times, but folks in the gun community, reload community are some of the best folks you'll ever meet.
Yeah. And sorry, I didn't mean to sound hesitant. I was probably texting 3 people at the same time I was talking to you. Had a lot going on.
You're good, man.
Now I have a few pictures of some of the stuff, and Ron Wayne's somebody else we forgot, and I hope we don't forget anybody. Now this is only a few things that was sent, and I pictures of, and I know there's more to come. Hang on here. Let me pull this up. So
I knew I forgot some stuff. I mean,
yeah, there's so many people have just been wonderful and jumped in. Ron Wayne's giving away this Daisy 350. He sent some pictures here. I mean, just amazing. Daisy number 25. There's Chad's logo. There is the reflex sight that Chad's giving away. There's the Tacticam. Everything you need right there. Let's see what else we got. There's the knife that Gizzard is giving away. And it's a really nice knife too. I mean, and then also Gizzard's giving away this One Tigress security safe. And folks, this is just kind of a drop in the bucket. This is just some of the pictures that I had, sent to me. But yeah, there's a lot of really nice stuff, and what a great community that I'm just so happy to be a part of it.
And the number one thing, folks, we all know it's not about the prizes. Prizes are just a bonus for you guys jumping in and helping us out at short notice. And that's the thing of it. It's really short notice because, these things don't give us notice when they're going to happen. So they're short notice, and you guys all step up to the plate. So we do appreciate you folks, and we try to give you guys a little something back in return for jumping up and stepping up to the plate.
Yeah, I just kicked in a little something for it.
Yeah, I just refreshed it at $3,296 right now. That's basically $296 since the show started, if I'm not mistaken.
So I haven't been able to jump in or do a whole lot this past week, other than kind of share it a little bit on the community posts and stuff. But I tell you what I'll do. I will throw in, since this week is International Pipe Smoking Week, I will throw in a brand new pipe. And I don't have it here, obviously, because it'll be brand new. I'll order it and I'll send it to someone for International Pipe Smoking Week.
Awesome. And a hard seltzer.
Well, yeah, I mean, I could throw one of those in too. I still got some sitting there that I haven't shot yet. I got to go shoot those things. Just too damn cold out.
There's a lot of stuff that we didn't mention. There's 2 bricks of Norma tacked ammo from Georgia and Kentucky. Jeremy Firearms and Fellowship is giving away some free subscriptions to some magazines, shooting magazines. I can't remember what the name of it was, but he's got several knives and a scope. And Moondog has a Discovery Optics scope, 3-9. There's a lot of nice stuff. I can't. And then there's probably
4 or 5 of these Ozark Trail knives that's going to be
Yes.
given away. And these have been a big topic on YouTube. You know, they got D2 steel in them. Very good knives. Nibs is giving away like 2 or 3 of these, and I got 2 that I'm giving away. There's a lot of input here, and I can't express how much I appreciate it. And I know the guy that we're doing it for, him and his wife, they appreciate it too.
Well, and I was just gonna say, one of the big things is, guys, you're not gonna probably hear on here just because they may not want to be on a live stream or on a video or anything like that. But you need to understand, you know, like Chad said, you know, they've just been married a year, Chad. So they're still dealing with a lot of different bills. They're still dealing with a lot of different things, and just trying to get themselves set and going on a path. And they got hit with this and kind of set them really off that path. And you know, people out there, hey, said Chad, hey, why don't you do this, man, and we'll help out. And so again, you know, he didn't say he wanted to do this. It was brought up by people in our community, and that just tells you how good our community is once again. So thank you to everyone out there for jumping in, being a part of it, and making something happen for people out there that never asked for it.
Scotsman, you want to answer that comment?
Fudd, I'm going to give you the same answer I gave my boss this week when he turned around and told me to read the policy about beards. You can go fuck yourself. And Jamie, I'm sorry, I don't mean to swear on your chat, but that was the answer I told my boss this week. So.
Well, I just don't know what.
Uh-oh.
He doesn't know what to say about that.
He just locked up again.
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
got
he froze.
internet problems. So we'll just keep moving along
Well,
here. So there's really great stuff going on and good to hear. And yeah, it's we've done a lot of those seltzer drinking challenges. I think we've got our full share of it.
Well, at least Jamie didn't freeze up on an awkward face moment.
There he is.
Hey, look, when it comes to hard seltzer drinking, Bubba, I'll give him credit where credit is due. Bubba is an Irishman. No, I'm not happy about that, but I will give credit where credit is due. But Bubba stepped up to the plate, said he would do it with milk duds, and did it with milk duds. As disgusting as that is, I give the man credit.
He probably had previous experience with that, which is why he did it.
He probably did. I'm not gonna knock him for that.
No, I'm not knocking him.
I'll knock him because he's Irish, but I'm not gonna knock him for the milk dud thing. He stepped up to the plate like he said he would.
We need to resurrect that milk dud video. That was epic. We haven't heard from Rebel yet. Rebel, how'd your week go?
Well, as of 20 minutes ago, I was picking up supper. My wife's working late. She's working a double shift. And I picked up supper and 4 live laying hens. And I had to get them in the coop while it's dark so the other chickens wake up and go, hey, oh, you've been here, you know. So otherwise, they'll beat the living crap out of one another. And I ended up with 2 roosters. I'm not going to get into that long story, but I annexed them this evening because one is a game chicken, and he's meaner than snot. He tried to flog me today, and I punted him about 30 yards, and he came back and apologized. But But that's what I've been doing. I've been waiting on this guy to deliver these live hens, and he must have 27 irons in the fire because we could never hook up. And he said, "Hey, are you going to be anywhere near here this evening?" I said, "I can be." So it was supposed to be 5 hens. He sent me 4, whatever, I paid for $12 for a laying hen that's only 6 months old. That's not bad. Beats raising dibbies. I know that has squat to do with shooting, but I may shoot that rooster and skin him and borax his hide and tie flies. He's that pretty. Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking about switching devices, fellas. We need to call out the side chat because we're overdue. Can y'all hear me?
Yep.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Well, in unusual fashion, can I throw the word out there instead of Walter?
Go for it.
If
We'll
it's
go with
respectable,
We'll go with Flood.
blood, okay, that's good.
Flood the side chat.
Kentucky, I know what your neighbors are going through. Here in North Carolina, it's been pretty bad. And my wife's hometown, Squire, West Virginia, got flooded along with Kentucky.
Jamie might have trouble reading through these because of his internet. I don't know how are you seeing these, Jamie? Okay.
Somebody else going to have to read the side.
All right. Yeah, I'll start going through them. So let's see. I see Texas 6. Got the first one. Let's see. Red Raider Reloading CW is there and on the panel. Reloading from the Hot Pot is there and on the panel. Kentucky Rimefire is out there and on the piano. On the piano. On the panel.
What kind of instrument is that?
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, so kind of you lay down on the top of and sing La Villa Rosa from, I guess.
He's
Anyway,
got a whammy bar for his place. He's got a whammy
there you
bar.
go. Yeah, and they're off the screen here. So I'm there, and let's see. The Rebel Mike Hester is there and on the panel. Crash is there. Paul Loud's there. I didn't see you earlier, Paul. Michael Dunn is here. Tactical Fudd is here. Hey, Buck. Alaska One Andy. GGW Outdoors, that's Joe Bama Dad and his own self is here. Ed Petty, Bobby Barlow. Wait a minute, what happened? Okay. Yeah, Garage Guy, Mike is here. James Pollard, hey, James Bubba is here. Andre D'Angelo is here. Walks Fletcher. Hey, Walks Dwayne 7834 is out there. Hillbilly Up, of course, is there. And on the panel, Red Raider Reloading is here. Papa's Place is there. Glenn Davis, Lead Mining 44. Good to see you. Let's see. We said Walks Fletcher, Papa's Place. Tim S. Hey, Tim. Ron 2A Matters. Long Rifle. That might be it. Let's see. Who did I leave out?
Looks like
No, Mario. Hey.
Looks like
Yeah, Mario.
Dad.
Mario's hiding in the dark.
Grandma Dad's out there too.
Ain't that some shit? You always forget about the Browner. Okay, got it.
Let's see. That's all I'm getting. Anybody else got another one? Who'd I leave out?
I think you got
that's it.
everybody.
All right.
Pretty sure you did.
Okay, we had another topic, did we not? We were gonna talk about. You probably bring this one up. This is actually a pretty good topic, and I know it's gonna spark some interest. But there's Jamie. You want to start off the other topic for tonight, Jamie, or where are we at?
First, I want to say welcome to everybody in the side chat, and sorry I couldn't do that. And thank you, Walter, for handling that. I'm on a different device now. I got my old laptop out, and it seems to be functioning somewhat. Anyway, at any rate, um, yeah. First topic.
Well,
It's short-lived.
it's really cold down there in Georgia, guys. It's just freezing up the cables and everything down there. Oh man, Jamie. Yes. Okay. So the first topic that we had
What
come up with. Are you back, Jamie?
For
He's moving.
momentarily.
If you want to shut your camera off, Amy, that might help you, buddy.
Probably not, but I'll try.
It'll help us. No, I'm joking.
Yeah, he's frozen up. Well, we'll go ahead and get it started anyway. So the topic was going to be, what's the worst gun you've ever owned?
All right.
And it could be worse because it was ugly. It could be your worst gun because it never did shoot right, or worse because it was poorly manufactured and had problems. And, for whatever reason, what's the worst gun you ever owned? And let's go up and start it off with the crazy Scotsman. He's probably going to say it was some kind of Glock or something, but
Actually, no. Surprisingly not there. So to surprise Walter, I'm going to tell you one of the worst firearms I've ever had was a Smith & Wesson. And
Really?
here's why, folks. And it was not a revolver. It was a semi-auto. And the reason it was one of the worst firearms I've ever had is because the safety was in a absolutely terrible spot for the size of my hands. So it may not look like it on camera. I don't know how the camera shows, but I have pretty good sized hands. And on a Smith & Wesson, that safety is in an absolutely horrible spot for me as far as trying to connect with it and operate the firearm in a proper manner, either slow or fast. It really doesn't matter. It's just in a very bad spot. So Smith & Wesson, as far as semi-autos, do not work well for me. And I forget the exact model of which one I bought. This was a long, long time ago, but it just did not work well.
Interesting. Yeah. Yeah, Billy, what about you, Mike? What's been and don't say High Point. And
No, definitely not it. Matter of fact, real quick, when I jumped off for a while ago, there's a dang coyote out there. Went, grabbed the High Point off the wall next to the door, went out there, right-handed, and I forgot I can't see on my right eye. And he ran off. And, man, I've been thinking about this, and like most of the firearms I have just been good stuff. Probably I had a Jimenez one time, and it wasn't a very good friendly gun. Which later on I got rid of it, and later on I actually got another one that hadn't been fired very much, and it ran way better. I mean, I've only shot it a few times, but if I had to pick one, it's probably that. It's just a kind of a Jam-O-Matic, the one that I had, but yeah, I guess that'd be it for me. I pretty much like all the rest of my other ones. How about you, CW?
Mine would be Taurus, and no particular model because I tried them 3 times and 3 strikes you're out. So 3 different guns, 3 different problems. One of them was back twice for the same problem. So no more Taurus for this guy.
I will say, to CW's comment real quick as far as Taurus. For some folks that don't know, Taurus, especially on the revolvers, a lot of them run off of Smith & Wesson design. And I don't know what they did or what they changed, but Taurus is renowned for issues back and forth, especially on rimfire. Go ask Garage Guy. He'll tell you left, right, and center. Not to poke fun at him, but he'll tell you they're pretty bad when it comes to the rimfire side of it. But not sure what they changed as far as quality or parts or how much money they're putting into the stuff. But just be careful when it comes to Taurus. The one good thing you do have with Taurus is, at least a few years ago, they were really good as far as how quick you sand it in and how quick you got it back. Not saying it worked good when you got it back, but you get it back fairly quick.
I'll take a stab at this one too. I've had some that I just don't like, for no particular reason. And is G23 here? No, good, because that's one that I have that I don't like. It's not the worst gun in the world. It doesn't fit my hand. It doesn't shoot well for me. It functions. It's never. Yeah, I never put a round in it that it turned around and said, no, I'm not shooting that at all. The gun always goes off. I just don't like it. I don't like the size of the frame on that firearm. I got a couple Glocks that I do like, the 34 and the 35. They're great firearms. They shoot really well. That G23 just never did very well for me. And a couple guys out in the chat were talking about a couple of lemons, here and there. And I had a Smith & Wesson lemon that I recently got. It's a 22 Magnum revolver, and that thing had to go back to Smith & Wesson three times. And each time they sent it, the first two times they sent it back, said, we fixed it. And I sent it back. No, you didn't. And there was, the first time was an issue with the firing pin. It was off center, and it wouldn't detonate most of the rounds. That's all factory rounds, of course, 22, rimfire stuff. Wouldn't detonate them. Sent it back, and they said, okay, yeah, your firing pin was weird. We fixed that. Got it back. It wasn't fixed. Sent it back again. They sent it back, said, okay, it's fixed now. And that time the firing pin would detonate the primers, but the cylinder wouldn't rotate. After about 3 rounds, it was so tight that it wouldn't rotate. And so we sent that back, and then they finally sent it back, and it ran. And I thought, holy cow, that was not a cheap revolver. A stainless steel revolver, looks good, but boy, to go back to the factory, 3 times to get it right. I'm sorry, that was not right. And so what else did I have? Well, I had a couple others. I won't call them lemons, but just issues here and there these days. Back in 70s and the 80s, when I first started, acquiring my own firearms on a fairly regular basis, the Smith & Wessons back then in those days, my 27 and 28, those were great firearms. Boy, they just worked, and they still work almost 50 years later. I mean, they just run. The newer ones, I don't know. They're not what they used to be, I guess. But so I'm going to call the Glock 23 the gun that I like the least. I won't say it's the worst firearm, but it's the one I like the least.
One of the big things today, Walter, is they try to get guns out so fast. It's just like with a lot of, almost anything these days. They're just trying to produce it so quick and push it to the market so quick. And
and the demand for firearms in the last 5 years has been huge. Firearm sales they're off the charts.
Right.
And so I know those guys are doing that.
Unfortunately, just kind of like with Lee Reloaded, we're the test dummies.
Oh, yeah.
And so you get it, and it might be a lemon. You never know.
Yeah. Yeah. How about you, Six? What's the worst one you've had so far?
I can't say I had a bad gun. Is kind of like you. I just had guns I didn't like. At the point of where I've only sold 2 guns that I've ever bought. and one was I actually bought for the wife. It was a Smith and Wesson Lady Smith 9mm semi-automatic. I can't remember the model number of it, like 4109 or something like that.
3914.
It could have been. I think that's what it was. She didn't like it because first shot is double action only. There's no hammer spur to cock it or anything. Neither one of us liked shooting it, so I ended up selling it. And the second one was the Ruger LCP. I had one of the first ones that came out. I kept it for about a year, and I just didn't like practicing with it at all. Couldn't hit nothing with it, so I sold that. But other than that, really, I ain't had a bad firearm. So guess I've been lucky, or I don't own enough yet.
Interesting. Cool. Mr. Hot Pot, you've got 18 million firearms over there. What was the worst one you ever had?
I have owned so many different firearms. I have bought, sold, traded a lot of them. But you know what? Mine is what Hillbilly had. I had one of those Jimenez or whatever they were, a JA9. I bought it at a gun show. I seen it. I thought I had no experience with the company. Whoa, pick that up.
I dropped my wallet.
And so I picked it up. I mean, it was cheap. It was cheap. I shot one round through it. I loaded the magazine, racked it back, fired it off, took the magazine out, cleared it, and set it down. When I was driving a truck, guy's house, I was keeping my stuff at for a mailing address while I was on the road. He loved it. He sat around and I fired it all the time while I was gone. He loved it. I come back. He's like, man, you sell me this pistol? And I'm like, dude, you don't want that thing, man. It scared me to shoot it one shot through it. I was like, I want to go for number 2. It's like, oh, I like it, man. I really like it. What do you take? I said, you know what, dude? You can have it. All right. You can have it. I said, for home protection. I said, if it doesn't go off, throw it at him. But that was my worst experience. Customer service wise, I've only had to send one pistol back that I've ever bought. And that was for a premature tin wear on a barrel. That's it. I've never had to send any other firearm in for any other warranties. I've just been lucky, I guess. And you know what, Walter? You're right about that G23. The 22s aren't bad, but that 20 is something different about that 23.
Yeah, I just don't like it.
But that's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
Good deal. Good enough.
Chad,
how about you? What? Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Wessons through the years. Both of them were rimfires, and they were back in the very late 80s. I bought a 34, fired one cylinder full and couldn't get any shells out of the cylinder. Sent it back. It came back, did the same exact thing. I traded it in, right across. I said, that's it, I'm done. And Smith & Wesson said, okay. And I took a Model 17 full target. I took that in the basement, fired the snail drum. 6 rounds wouldn't come out of the cylinder. That one there we polished. It wasn't as bad. And it was serviceable. I kept that one. But 2 right in a row. 80 Smith & Wessons. Yeah.
Not good.
But they weren't. It was just, it's not really acceptable, but it happens, But, yeah. No.
One of the big things that people forget about is you got to remember, folks, these are all machined. And they're coming off in droves upon droves. So you're at some point, you're going to get an issue. It's just who ends up with the issue. And you might be that lucky one that gets it.
Well, for me, believe it or not, it was a Jimenez 9mm. I was 21 years old. I was going to buy my first pistol. Jimenez 9mm was cheap enough. I took it home, fired 3 rounds through it, and the firing pin broke. They sent me a new firing pin. I shot 1 magazine through it. Firing pin broke again. And I did the same thing as Gene. I gave it to a buddy of mine, and I don't know what he done with it.
Yeah, I don't know if my buddy Kevin still got that or not. I mean, I'm sure he does.
They have a very, very weak firing pin in them.
Probably as simple as it's not hardened right.
Yep.
Yeah. One round scared me. I just couldn't pull the trigger again, man. After that one, I was like, I like my hand. I don't know about this.
I broke two firing pins in that Henry rifle.
I remember that. Yeah.
You're shooting it too hard.
Yep.
Okay, so I guess I'm last, huh? So
Okay. Go
I
ahead.
I have 2 guns that I can tell you I to this day don't like anymore. One of them is a G23. There's just something about the G23 on a 40 frame, a 40 cal on that frame. It is not really fun to shoot that gun at all. I don't like shooting it. I mean, it shoots everything you throw at it, but I just don't like it. It's not really a fun gun to shoot. I don't feel like I'm as accurate with it as my other Glocks. I don't know what it is about that gun in particular, but I just don't like that. The other gun that, although it's a great gun, it shoots well, runs very good, but I have a problem with the beaver tail, and that is the Versa Firestorm. Very accurate gun. It has that clone PPK look to it. I mean, it's a great gun. It shoots very well. It's accurate, but I took it to the range, and pretty much my hand was bloody because where, the cup right here in your hand was just bloody. This is from the gun. For some reason, it just digs into your hand pretty well there. And well, since it's a 380, it's a little snappy gun as it is. So I didn't notice that until I finished my last magazine. I was like, wow, that's crazy. I never seen that before, but I'm still trying to kind of figure out what I can do with that. But it's a great gun. As far as shooting it, it's accurate, but just not very fun to shoot, especially if it's gonna dig into my hand like that. But yeah, G23s are not good at all.
Why all the hate? Why all the hate? But I bet 19's fine, right?
No, 19 is beautiful. It shoots
Yeah, I
flawlessly,
figured as much.
man.
Yeah.
19, I just personally think that 40 cal
not everybody can handle
on
that 40 caliber. Some of us just, they just can't handle it.
I don't think so, man. I handle the 10 millimeter just fine. I don't
Well, if the
understand.
19's fine and the 48, that's the only difference.
Yeah,
Look, here's the thing of it. It's pretty simple. Y'all know what's coming. Glock sucks, period.
I wouldn't say that, Scotsman. I still enjoy my 19. I still enjoy my 17. I still enjoy my 26. I read guns. I never had any problems with them. But that one in particular, yeah, I have a beef with the 23.
Yep. I got to agree. You're saying the same things I do. And part of it might be I got small hands. Okay. I'm not a tall guy and my hands are pretty small. That's come in handy a few times, but with a G23, no. I think they wrote
he can fish stuff out from behind the refrigerator better than anybody else.
There you
Hey,
go.
guys, that's all he
That's what I
meant.
meant. Yeah.
Way to go. Yeah. You got to keep it G-rated here, guys. Come on. But yeah, I have the same thing. I have small hands, but I don't know. For some reason, because I've shot a Smith & Wesson compact, and it's same size as a 23, and that thing just shoots flawlessly, man. And it's like I to this day I still don't understand why that one just shoots so bad. But yeah,
I like the G22s. I don't have a problem with 40. I got a Smith and Wesson compact in 40. Shoots just fine. Love it.
Yeah, they're Glocks have their place, and like I said earlier, I've got a couple of them that I like a lot. The tactical length one, the 5 inches, the 34 and the 35, a 9 and a 40. Those are good shooters for me, and I shoot them a lot. I've got 10,000 rounds or so, maybe more through each of those now, and they're rolling along like on grease grooves. Literally, they're good guns. Not that 23 though, not for me.
no,
Funny. It's
yeah.
funny how that is. The 35 is probably my favorite Glock, but I've got a 22 that I it's okay, but it's nowhere near as nice as that 35. Same generation.
Mhm.
And I've got a 24 that same thing. It's fine. I like it, but it's nowhere near what that 35 is. And it's the same gen. Everything's the same.
Yeah.
35 is, I don't know. It clicks. It just fits. And it feels different.
Mm-hmm.
It feels different in my hand. And it should be the same exact frame on those other two guns.
And like I tell you, I shot the 10 millimeter and I loved it. I was like, man, this is nice. I need to get one of these. So I don't know.
Yeah.
So let me ask you guys this. I know some of you guys already answered this question, but what gun scares you to shoot? I know some of you guys say Jimenez already. All right. But is there another gun that whenever you shoot it, you're like, oh, I don't want to touch this thing no more?
Well, I don't think we've got the Rebel or Jamie yet. Oh, we just lost Jamie again.
Oh, Jamie, I'm sorry, buddy. You still
Let's go to Rebel over there, Mike. So your worst gun, and you have a shop, and so you've seen a lot of them. But from the ones that you have owned personally, what was your suckiest gun?
I'm going to go all the way back to the 1980s. And I went and saw the first Terminator. And when I got out of that, I said, I got to have a 45 alongside with laser sighting. And I went and bought a Wyoming Arms. I think it was a break off of, help me out, CW. What was the company that had a 30 carbine automatic and a
AMT.
Yeah,
hardball.
AMT. They were a break off of AMT, and I got this thing, and oh my God, it was beautiful. Big long slide, 1911, and I bought one of those cheesy little lasers that clamped onto the trigger guard, and I went out in the woods to fire it, and I shot it, and it stovepiped, and the laser died, and I was so heartbroken. I mean, I was like, because I was young and working hard for my money, but that thing, I threw the laser in the lake, and that thing, that thing never would shoot. I mean, it was stovepipe, it all kind of crap, and I finally ran up on this guy who said, "Man, I love that gun." He said, "I love the way a gun looks," and I was like, "Well, I mean, I'll trade it." And he said, "Well, all I got's this Colt." Well, the rest is history.
So, how about you, Jamie?
I had a Jimenez once upon a time. It didn't last long. It was a 9mm. No, it was a 380. But I think and I never shot it. I didn't. I shot it. I shot one clip through it, one magazine through it, and that was it. And it didn't break. It went bang. But I think by far the worst gun that I ever had, and I know most of you guys don't share this experience, but the worst one that I ever paid my money for was the Taurus TCP, which is the same thing as the Smith & Wesson Bodyguard 380 and the Ruger LCP. I think the Ruger one was first. And they're practically all three the same gun, but that Taurus was awful. I mean, it was snappy as all get out. It just wasn't enough meat on the bone to tame that little 380 shell. Am I making sense?
No,
Mhm.
you're making
Yes.
complete sense because the 380 is that snappy. But going back, and I think this is what happened to Rebel when he shot that thing. He started talking about it. You know. I think it went like, oh, where'd it go? No, man, I'm trying to make a point here. This thing is not helping me here. Okay, here we go. That's how it went.
Mouse fart.
Okay, let's see if we can do
Hey,
this. You ready?
what's the country of origin of the Jimenez? Is it Argentina or
Jimenez.
something?
It's in
Los
California.
Jimenez. Hey, I'm a
In
redneck.
California.
Give me a break. All right.
Mine
Jimenez.
was
Doesn't
made in
that
It was made in California.
isn't that
It was made in.
Mario? Help me out. Isn't that Spanish for horse turd?
Oh yeah.
I was just wondering. I was
I don't
wondering.
know.
Here, guys, I'll tell you this. Jimenez Arms was a gun manufacturer that filed for bankruptcy in 2020. The company was based in Nevada and was owned by Paul Jimenez. The company's assets were transferred to JA Industries, another company owned by Jimenez. The ATF revoked JA Industries' federal firearms license in April of 2022. So the ATF shut them down.
Yeah, mine's stamped on there, made in Nevada. I can't believe anybody didn't bring up Sky.
You know, Mario, you can't take credit for Jimenez, out in California, but we can take credit in Ohio for High Point.
Dude, that's cast iron goodness right there, baby. It's cast iron goodness.
Are y'all ready, Gene?
Yep.
Oh, yeah. That time already?
Past time. It's time for What's Hot Pot Got. All right. I got too many dang buttons to click. We're going to have to rework this. Let's see. Where am I at and what am I doing? There he is right there.
Dun, 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 dun. That's a local band song. They were a really good band, man. They kind of died off.
What do they call it? Tantarans?
Yes, the dun-dun-duns. Dun, dun, dun. Okay. I was thinking about my grandmother, and my grandmother's birthday's coming up. Well, it would have been her birthday. She passed away at 85 years old in 2005. I was thinking about her today. I was at work, and she used to carry one of these in her purse, and this a little bee booger, 25 auto.
Yes, sir.
Look how little and cute that thing is.
What model Glock fits that?
It's pretty.
I believe that would be a Glock 114.
And a half.
Because the numbers never match unless it's the 19. Y'all know that? The only Glock that matches it is a Glock 19 as far as caliber. Crazy. But I thought that was a cute little booger. And I used to walk around town as a little shorty with my grandmother paying bills. And she carried that in her purse for personal protection. Just in case anybody would try to assault her or me. So I was thinking about her today. So I brought this up. So I'm going to read you a little bit about this as I normally do. The 25 ACP automatic Colt pistol, also known as the 25 Auto, 25 automatic, or 6.35 by 16 millimeter SR, is a semi-rim, straight-walled center-fire pistol cartridge introduced by John Browning in 1905, alongside the Fabrique Nationale M1905 pistol. The original designer was John Browning, designed 1905 and is produced 1905 to present day. The ballistics on these go from a 22 grain, 35, 45, 50, and 60 grain, with the fastest being 1750 feet per second and the heaviest being 850 feet per second. This 25 ACP was designed because the 25 caliber was the smallest John Browning could go while retaining a centerfire primer pocket, which would be more reliable for self-defense than rimfire primers. As such, the 25 ACP allows for a very compact and lightweight gun, usually a semi-automatic pocket pistol. The 25 ACP was hugely popular after its introduction, with many millions of pocket 25 mouse guns being offered on the market. Following the Gun Control Act of 1968, most 4 and 25 pistols were too small to be imported. However, some domestic manufacturers continue to build guns in the caliber. No new 25 ACP pocket pistols have been developed in well over a decade, and it is unlikely that this will change anytime soon. The most common pocket pistols in the United States today are 22 long rifle, 380 ACP, and 9x19. That is what I brought to you tonight. Cute little round, nice little self-defense round. I mean, I don't want to be shot with a BB gun. You hear me, hillbilly? So, you know, something is better than nothing, and even a sharp stick will help out.
I actually saw a guy get killed with one of those.
Oh, I don't doubt it. I mean, it's a projectile going in you at a lightweight grain. I mean, that's a lot of FPS, man. That's a lot. But that's what I got for this. On the other side of things, if there's powder on the shelves at your local dealers, and it's a prior shipment than today's date, the prices are going to be good. But as I'm seeing right now, I'm sitting down with the boss and looking at all the distributors, and right now wholesale pricing is matching last month's retail pricing.
Oh God.
Which means it's only going up, and averages 15 to 18% is what we're seeing on the board.
Can you never bring us any good news?
I am just I don't like to bring this kind of news to you, but I just want my loved ones out there to know what to expect. So if you walk back in next month and they got a new shipment in, the price is going to go up again because they're paying wholesale as what they were selling for retail.
Everybody quit buying powder and primers for 1 month, they'd probably bring the price down.
No, they would just send it overseas. Sad part.
Yep.
You know, someone's going to buy it. So, I mean, even me working there, you know, I get a deal on it, but I don't get any better deal than wholesale. So I'm going to go through all my powders, and Monday I'm going to go in with a list of what I like to use and what I do have and don't have or would like to have. And I'm going to go ahead and pick up everything because my boss has conglomerated and been contacting all the distributors, all these wholesalers, all of his cohorts in the business. We've been getting in pallets of powder, so he's going to keep the prices down as long as he can. You know, he's not going to start jacking up just because these other guys are. If he's getting it for the same wholesale cost that he was paying before all this, then he's going to keep the retail prices the same as long as it's in stock. So if you are a member for the it's a low fee of a Benjamin a year, you get free hazmat shipping. Man, you can really save a lot of money on your powders and your shipping and stuff if you're ordering stuff online. Gong. There's the gong. You get the gong. It's the Gong Show with Mario. So that's what I got tonight, everybody.
Very
I
good.
think the most for the powder I've ever paid today was $62 for a pound of number 9.
It's going to go up.
Wow.
And that was the last one he had on the shelf too.
Yeah, his next shipment's going to go up. I mean, that's what we're seeing. And
So I got a question. It's in regards to powder. Why is it that I only see in the shelves the Hodgdon brand and not see the other stuff? Like I love Power Pistol. I can't find that anywhere.
you're not going
Alliance
to
hard.
find the Alliant for a while because the cellulose they use to make it is in high demand, and China is the main manufacturer of it. And the
You said
last
Chun-Li?
Yeah.
China is the main manufacturer of
Oh.
the cellulose to make gunpowder. So what happened is the last batch that came in that was available on the market was 40,000 pounds of it, and Winchester bought every bit of it. So Alliance
The
has been
nerve.
cut out. Alliance been cut out of the picture, and Hodgson actually owns all the major brands, all of them. Accurate, Ramshot, IMR, they own them all.
Accurate, yeah, all of them.
So like I said, I hate to be the bearer of higher prices, but I'd rather you guys know and not walk in and oh my god, and just get shocked out on it, or like Rebel
we're
did.
seeing the same. We're seeing the same thing, Gene. I mean, we know last time we filled our shelves, it took us twice the money to fill our shelves, and it's going to take it half again as much again.
Yeah, it's costing us a lot to fill our shelves too. You know, we're getting in, pallets of it. I'm checking in, 400 or 500 pounds of powder off of a pallet, and it's coming from everywhere. I mean,
well, I hate to be a smart butt, but I mean, you get guys walking in
No,
there.
you?
Yeah, me. But you get guys walking in there that hadn't been in the store in a while, and they go, "Have you not got any Reloader 26?" And we've resorted to laughing. I mean, where have you been, man? I mean, what gopher hole have you been in? And we have to explain it to them. Especially those big Magnum powders. They're hard to get. And Reloader 26 might as well be unicorn poop. I mean, it's
Yeah, Power Pistol hadn't been around for a while, and a lot of the
we have one 5-pound jug of Power Pistol left on the shelf. One.
Here you are, Mario. Order up.
I've got one 5-pound jug of Reloader 15, and it's on the shelf for $400, and that's cheap compared to we got it months ago. It's just sat there. Guy was like, "Well, I'd like to get it, but I don't want to pay $400 for it." Well, wait till next time, bub. It's going to be more than that. So get it
they
now.
start making it. You come in and it's $500 for that jug.
Yeah, exactly. It sucks. I mean, I hate it.
The Reloading store today has some Power Pistol.
Yeah, it's
Really?
that's all back stock out of warehouses because nothing has come back in the country.
I think
From
they had 5 different Alliance powder, and one of them was Power Pistol.
Wow. Yeah.
I've got 2
we're
pounds sitting on the shelf, so I don't need any.
Yeah, and we can't find Shooter's World either.
Mm-mm.
I mean,
They stopped importing, from what I understand. Is that correct, Gene?
Yeah, it's because of the cellulose.
Yeah,
it's all.
I've seen a few of them available. Like what's their auto? I think they just call it Auto Pistol.
Yeah.
Maybe nobody buys that one. I see that one around. But
we have Auto Pistol and we have Blackout.
Yeah.
And we can't get any more. What's on the shelf? What we have is what we have. All the Clean Shot. I bought 20 pounds of the Clean Shot.
I like that powder too.
I love it, man. It is clean. I mean, it's like 244.
Yeah. I see Vitavuri powders.
Yeah.
somewhat available, not all of them, and a lot of guys are low stock on that. And I think that's just because folks are buying that because it is available. It's more expensive than the others.
I
Well-
never bought that, but I don't know what's the big deal in that stuff. I mean, is it effective? Is it, or is it just
It
effective?
runs
but
well.
not
I use a
effective?
lot of Vitivery in 45 ACP. And,
It's always
and
been more expensive, so people will never hardly buy it.
That's that playing field's been level.
Yeah, now it's level.
Yeah, that's definitely been leveled all the way across the board on cost
Yep.
because our Vitivery is equal price to a Hodgson
Mhm.
H110. The price is going to be really comparable.
I'll be happy to see if Trail Boss gets back. I keep hearing rumblings that we might be seeing Trail Boss again because I kind of like using
Calm
that.
down,
once in a
calm
while.
down.
Like I say, they've got it out there in Australia. They're shooting it now.
Yeah.
My boss
Yeah.
was looking for Trail Boss the other day. I was sitting back behind the computer with him going through all the suppliers, and all of them showed out of stock.
Yeah.
On Trail Boss. He was
It's
looking
just not
to get
being
some.
imported. Not being imported over here yet.
If you listen to Jamie, Jamie's gonna tell you, Trail Boss isn't worth buying. It's just a terrible powder. It doesn't have any power behind it, and all the rest of it.
Yeah, it's dirty. It doesn't burn. You got to shake the
Smells
extra out
funny.
of your barrel after every
The
round.
donuts fall out all over the place when you're reloading with it.
There you go.
Yeah.
Shows up when you go to loading your other powders. So all of a sudden you see a donut in there. But I like this stuff.
Indians hooping and hollering, buffalo crap everywhere.
Hey, it is the preferred powder of sheriffs and outlaws. You got to remember that.
Actually, in cowboy action, it's not that popular. Red Dot is. Red Dot and Tight Group.
Yeah.
I got a pound of Red Dot.
I got
I like
5
that.
pounds of it. I like Red Dot.
Oh, it's funny, it's been a few years now, but I picked up like 4 pounds of Trail Boss, and I called Jamie one day, all excited, because I'm like, "Hey man, I'm gonna have to get 4 pounds of Trail Boss." He's like, "Dude, that powder sucks." I'm like, "What?"
I probably
Yeah.
won't go back to using it in any cowboy action stuff since I started using Tight Group and I use 700X too.
700X, another good one.
Yeah,
That's
I've
hard to
got some
find.
700X.
Now, Jamie has a much more refined way of putting it than I put it. Jamie, what was your exact word? And I forget what it was.
Well, we can't repeat that in the current
Uh-oh.
format.
It did not meet standard. Okay, God.
Yeah, it's not what I'm after in my loads, but we'll leave it at that. But I've got verse of the week prepared for y'all, and it's rather long this week. So I'm hoping
Let's go
that
for it.
my internet connection will hold out long enough for me to do it. But quickly, let's go through the room. We've talked about the guns that we dislike. Quickly tell us your favorite gun, the one you have that you like the best. And we'll start with Walter.
Well, that's a tough question, and it's going to be a hard one for everybody to answer. I mean, the one I like the best is one I'm pulling the trigger on at the range today, and or I wouldn't have it at the range. And I don't really think that I have a favorite. Well, I'll take that back. Right now, as we speak, my favorite firearm is that Ruger Bisley 44 Special that I recently got. It's not 44 mag, it's in 44 Special. It was a distributor exclusive. I like that handgun a lot. I like it because it's a Bisley grip and frame, which I didn't think I was going to like, but I like it better than the plow handle Blackhawks. And I like the caliber. 44 Special, one of my favorite calibers ever, and that gun shoots them really well. So I'll say that today is my favorite firearm. Next week it might be something different after I get that Model 10 in. So that's me. Scotsman, let's go up at the top and work around. What's your favorite, or do you have one?
Okay. Well, most of y'all know me. I'm a big bore guy, and I started YouTube for two different reasons. One, I want to show some of the old school things that I was able to collect as a younger member of our community. And I also started. I wanted to show my nephews what their crazy uncle was up to. But that being said, my absolute favorite firearm of all time has to be the Model 29 and 44 Magnum, big bore, all day long. I have 3 different ones currently at this point in time. I have 3 different ones. Of that, many more to be acquired at some point in time. And 357 is a close second, but 44 is always the ticket for me. And the 29 just has a warm place in my heart, folks. And my heart's very small. I don't really have a very big heart, but
you sure you have a heart?
Very small. But what's there? My 29 sits there.
Okay, Hillbilly. What's your favorite gun? If you own.
Tough. The favorite one I like shooting is probably a 870 12 gauge pump shotgun. But I like them all. 357 Magnum Smith & Wesson. I love that long barrel revolver. Yeah, I guess those would be 2 of my favorite ones.
Six, how about you? You got a favorite?
Well, my gun that I've shot the most is obviously my single 6 and 32 H&R Magnum. But I got another one that's catching up to it real quick, and that's my Springfield 1911. Love shooting that thing.
Is that the 45 caliber or 9mm Springfield?
It's a 1911, so it's a 45.
Well, Springfield makes a 9mm in 1911
well,
also.
It ain't a 1911
then. I think they make a 10mm too. Would that be a 1911?
Getting close there. It'd be the only one I would buy.
That's all right.
You guys. Yeah, you've put out several videos with that Springfield, and it seems like it's a good shooter.
I ain't had a problem with it yet.
That's good stuff.
Hoping to get me a rig so I can do some of that. I can't think of the name of it now, where they shoot 1911s and stuff at the cowboy
Wild
action
Bunch.
shooting. Wild
Bunch.
There you go.
That looks fun too. Guys, I'm so frustrated with this internet tonight.
Hot Pop, you got a favorite?
Yes, I do. I've got a lot of nice guns. I got 1911s, 2011s, semi-autos, hammer fired. My favorite gun that every time I go to the range, I sneak it in the bag now, and that's my Sig Sauer P226 X5 Custom Works. All stainless steel, hammer fire, single action. It shoots so flat, and it's just accurate, man. It's just so much fun to shoot. I got a lot of 226 magazines now since I'm shooting that particular firearm in USPSA. Yeah, I've also got the other version, the 226 X5 Legion, that I use in IDPA. So for me, as soon as I even seen the gun, it just felt like me. And then when I held one in my hands, it just molded. Whoa! I heard angels singing, harp strumming.
The
gongs banging.
Except for that pistol arrow.
See, I'm a bad influence in this chat. I'm just saying.
You do. I'm right there with
I
you
love
too.
it. I
But
love
yeah,
it.
my SIG 226, both my SIG 226s. I take those to the range before my staccatos or anything else.
Chad, how about you? Got a favorite?
Chester 52A with a 20 power Unerdle.
That came across really fast. You had that one on the tip of your tongue. Tell us about it.
It's the one I hold records with. The shooter.
Tell us more. Tell us more.
Well, I mean, it's hard to pick this one because I got a 52A, B, and C. So I like them all.
I guess y'all didn't catch
Cool.
that grease reference.
Going with the rimfire, it would be my 35 Remington for sure.
I'm trying not to, Gene. I hate musicals.
Well, grease is the exception to the musical, okay?
No, it's not.
Oh, come on now.
No, it's
That
not.
was so cheesy. God. So cheesy.
People don't walk down the street and suddenly break into song. That's disturbing. All right.
Rebel, what's your favorite?
Favorite firearm, period, or favorite pistol?
Man, well, you got to be complicated. God.
Well, I mean, I have to separate it. A favorite pistol has to be a
Okay,
4
Rebel.
and what? All right, 4 and 5/8 inch original Vaquero with Wolf Springs 45 Colt. That's my favorite. The rifle is a custom Remington 6mm Norma BR with the Night Force scope, and yeah, it speaks for itself. So, yeah.
Absolutely. So I'm wondering if I need to try to do the verse of the week tonight. I hate to butcher God's word on this. Let me tell you how.
Well, that didn't work.
That ain't gonna work.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm
Jenny,
sorry.
I'm sure you're listening. So just post it up, and I'm sure Walter or Mike or someone can read it off, and we can do it that way.
No, that's not happening tonight, man. It's it's too involved. I've got notes and all that mess. So
Well, you're back, so go for it, brother.
well, first I got
And there he goes.
And he's gone.
to tell y'all well, never mind. Well, okay, I'm back.
Yeah.
I've got quite a few revolvers and I love them all, but I gotta say that my favorite gun that I own right now is my Psycho Model AV chambered in the venerable 270 Winchester. No comment.
Nice.
I'm not saying anything.
Don't like Psycho?
No, Psycho's fine. Just 270 Winchester. It's the Jack O'Connor thing. It's awesome round though.
Yeah, I get it. Okay. Our verse of the week is rather involved and it's going to be relatively lengthy, and I hope I can get this out without the circles going around. We're going to start in Matthew chapter 25, and we're going to start with verse 34, and I'll explain where we're at. And I'm skipping a few verses here, so bear with me. Matthew 25, verse 34 says, Then the king will say to those on his right hand, Come, you blessed of my Father, inherit the kingdom prepared for you from the foundation of the world. Verse 35 says, For I was hungry, and you gave me food. I was thirsty, and you gave me drink. I was a stranger, and you
took me in.
took me
And
in.
then
Verse 36, come on, you took me in. Verse 36, I was naked, and you clothed me. I was sick, and you visited me. I was sick, and you visited me. I was in prison, and you came to me. Skip down to verse 40 for a second, and we'll fill in the gaps. And the king will answer and say to them, Assuredly I say to you, inasmuch as you did it to one of the least of these, my brethren, you did it to me. All right, skip a few more verses down to verse 44. Then they will answer him, saying, Lord, when did we see you hungry or thirsty or a stranger or naked or sick or in prison and did not minister to you? Then he will answer them, saying, Assuredly I say to you, inasmuch as you did not do it to one of the least of these, you did not do it to me. Verse 46, And these will go away into everlasting punishment, but the righteous into eternal life. So this is from Jesus's Olivet Discourse, and that starts in chapter 24. So at this particular point in time, Jesus has days left on earth, but he invests that time into his disciples. And this all starts from the disciples' question in chapter 24, verse 3, when they ask him, Tell us, when will these things be? And what will be the sign of your coming and the end of the age? And it takes Jesus 2 chapters to explain what they should know about the questions that they've asked. He talks about the destruction of the temple. He talks about the abomination of desolation, or what some of us would refer to as the Antichrist. He talks about his second coming. He talks about the parable of the fig tree, the illustration of the days of Noah and the two servants, the good and the wicked servant. And in chapter 26, he talks about the parable of the 10 virgins and the parable of the talents. And this is what I want us to see tonight. And this passage of scripture, so there's disagreement among scholars and commentators if this is the great white throne judgment of Revelations chapter 20, and I believe it's a different judgment, because it's a different time and it's a different place. And I take this from reading some of my commentators. Some of my favorite teachers is Dr. Guzik and John MacArthur. They both agree that it's different from the great white throne, but judgment in Revelations chapter 20. But I want to read y'all John MacArthur's note on verse 34. So let's read that verse. It says, Then the king will say to those on his right hand, Come, you blessed of my Father, inherit the kingdom prepared for you from the foundation of the world. And MacArthur writes there, this terminology underscores that their salvation is a gracious gift of God, not something merited by the deeds described in verses 35 and 36. Before the foundation of the world, they were chosen by God and ordained to be holy, Ephesians chapter 1, verse 4, predestined to be conformed to Christ's image, Romans 8:29. So the good deeds commended in verses 35 and 36 are the fruit, not the root of their salvation. The deeds are not the basis of their entrance into the kingdom, but merely manifestations of God's grace in their lives. They are the objective criteria for judgment because they are the evidence of saving faith. They're the fruit and the evidence of that saving faith. Guzek there says they were approved on the basis of their works. There is no mention of faith or even forgiveness here. The judgment was based purely on their moral kindness, end quote. So I believe that Mac is more right here. Works and moral kindness is the fruit or the evidence of saving faith and forgiveness. The Apostle Paul writes in Ephesians chapter 2, verses 8 through 10, says, "For by grace you have been saved through faith, and that not of yourself. It is the gift of God, not of works, lest anyone should boast. For we are his workmanship. We are his masterpiece, created in Christ Jesus for good works, which God prepared beforehand that we should walk in them." So even the faith that saves us is a gift from God. What did you do for your salvation? Absolutely nothing. These works are the fruit and the evidence of that gift and are what Jesus used to separate the sheep from the goats. The least of these, my brethren, in verse 40. Let's look at verse 40 again. So he says, and the king will.
Yeah. And the king will answer and say to them, assuredly I say to you, and as much as you did it to one of the least of these my brethren, you did it to me. And so what he's saying is, hey, you didn't have to transgress directly against me. You did it to somebody else.
And least of these my for a fact can never benefit your life. So I need to say that again.
Yep.
How do you treat people who you know for a fact can never benefit your life? And this couple will probably never meet you. He's a diesel mechanic. She's a nurse. He's helping feed your family by keeping those trucks rolling and delivering stuff. There's no telling the impact he will make as a nurse. Mm-hmm. But this also explains an important fact about evangelism. If a person is hungry, thirsty, a stranger, naked, sick, or in prison, or any combination thereof, they don't care about what you're telling them about Jesus. Physical needs first. So they're worried too much about where their next meal is coming from to worry about eternity. In verses 45 and 46, let's get that up there. 45. Then he will answer them and saying, assuredly I say to you, inasmuch as you did not do it to the least of these, you did not do it to me. Notice the goats are condemned by what they didn't do. There's no evidence of saving faith, good works, or moral kindness, only self-centered thinking. So in closing, I want to caution all of us that the signs of sins, I want to caution us all that the sins of omission are just as deadly and as dangerous as the sins of commission.
Yeah, in the same passages, the folks that are on his left, they're saying, "Hey, tell me when did I ever see you naked and not help you? When did I ever see you in prison and not help you? When did I ever see you when you were sick and not help you?" And they didn't, but they didn't help other folks who were in need either. And he's saying here that that's the same thing as doing it directly to me.
Right. So I just want to caution us that the sins of omission are just as deadly just as deadly and dangerous as the sins of commission. In other words, things we don't do can condemn us just as bad as the evil things that we may do. So I'm afraid we focus on not doing evil things much more than we think about what we can do to advance the kingdom of God.
I believe that you're right in most. In my case, I know I'm guilty of that too. You know, trying to focus on not doing bad stuff when you need to at least to be 50-50 on what could I do that's good. And it's like Hillbilly always says, hey, you know, try to make somebody's day better today. You know, it's a simple thing to do, but a lot of times it's not right here in front of my face.
I just I want to back up here just for a minute. I know I've beat y'all to death with this, but I really like that what Walter was sharing there, in verses 36. No, verse 38 and 39. Basically verse 40, when you they're like, when did we see you in this condition and give you water, give you food? When did we minister to you? I think a lot of the times we get caught up on, are we doing enough to make it to heaven? You know, I think and especially if you go back and study the parable of the talents, you think, well, I hope I'm doing enough. I think a lot of people are of the opinion that when they get to heaven and stand before God, there's going to be a scale, and their bad things they did are going to be on one side, the good things they did on the other, and if the good side is the heaviest, then they get into heaven. That's not how it works. Committing one sin leaves us short of God's standard of sinless perfection. But through the grace and the blood of Jesus on Calvary, what it takes is what Jesus says right here. And the King will answer and say unto them, assuredly I say to you, inasmuch as you did it to one of the least of these, my brethren, you did it to me. And me right there is with a capital N. So I think what we need to do is we go through life and just pay attention to where and when we're prompted by the Holy Spirit and take action. Follow his lead, and you won't have to worry about, am I doing enough? Am I doing more good than I'm doing bad? It's that faith, that saving faith that the Holy Spirit dwells in us. That's what saves us, and that's enough of that. So I hope y'all enjoyed that. I worked hard on that this morning, and yeah, if y'all have any questions or comments, now
No, that was a very, very appropriate section. You know, when you consider what's been going on lately, you know, it's always good. You know, I really enjoy getting in here on Friday nights, you know, and getting the book out. And Jamie always comes up with good passages for us, you know, to listen to. And I try to read along as we're going through, and it keeps me refreshed, and it helps me get my thoughts readjusted, refocused, because you guys know me, I'm out in left field half the time. I don't know where I am when I wake up in the morning a lot of times.
Get to the center.
Yeah, you know, exactly. And so you haven't beat us to death at all with it, Jamie. It was a good one to do tonight.
Well, I hope y'all enjoyed the topics tonight as well.
That was more gooder, man. Good job.
Yeah, it was real good. Appreciate you doing that for us, Jamie.
You know, I don't usually say a whole lot when it comes to the verse of the week, and there's various reasons for that, and I'll leave those to the side. But one thing I do notice a lot is we lose X amount of people every time. And I just want to say, you know, it's funny because I really do pay attention to what's going on in the side chat and to pay attention to how many we are watching and this, that, the other. It's when we have things go on like we got going on with Kentucky Rimfire's neighbors, for example. Y'all jump in without even questioning it and start helping and doing this and doing that. But someone reads a Bible verse and y'all jump out. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense.
It does to me. I know I've told you that before.
I know we've had plenty of conversations, between ourselves, but unfortunately, I think it comes down to something like this, where people think that they are judged by what they do versus what's actually going on in their life. And so when something like this particular, for example, this comes up, they think if they donate and do this, do that, they're better off because they did that. And to me, that's not how things work, man. Like, it's just not how they work. If you're not that person 100% of the time, don't be that person 5% of the time.
I hate to take a quote out of a movie. But it's like this, Jason. There's a difference between knowing the path and walking it. And that's true in life and just about anything you do, but it's especially true when it comes.
No, and that's 100%, man. 100%. And never be ashamed to use a movie quote, because I use them all the time.
I'll say this just quickly. My goal is to be the same person every day, and my goal is to be a Christ follower. Can I do that all the time? Absolutely not. And it shames me when I'm not. But at the same time, that don't mean I'm gonna quit trying to be all the time. I fail miserably daily of being the man I expect of myself.
Yeah, I want to tell everybody here, because you're all my brothers, and I'm sitting here just thinking about what happened last week. And if y'all don't know, I call him my business partner. He's been a partner to me. I did all the legwork and put my name on everything, but my cohort in business is he's a paraplegic. He's paralyzed. He's in a wheelchair, and he does a lot of stuff on his own. But he is a moody little SOB, and he can get smart-mouthed at times. And I've never shown any anger to him in 10 years that I've been in business. And last week, he got set off, triggered by something, I don't know, but he was fussing at me, and he was mouthing and mouthing and mouthing and mouthing. And there weren't any customers in the store, just me and him and another guy that helped us out. And I got up and walked up, and he kept talking, kept running his mouth, and I backhanded the hat off his head. And he turned around, I almost knocked him out of his wheelchair, and he turned around, and I said, you don't talk to me that way. You better man up. You don't talk to me that way. I said, I'll ratchet strap myself in an office chair and I will beat the living snot out of you. I said, mano a mano. I don't care. I said, I don't want to hear your mouth anymore. I'm tired of it. And I walked outside and I lit up my pipe and I thought, you just lost your temper like you did in your 20s. And I'm getting ready to be 60 next week. And I shouldn't have done that. But a man can only take so much lip. You know what I mean? And he apologized. I gave him a hug. And I said, it's all good, man. It's all good. We're good. But I hate to say this, but I don't regret doing it because I drew a line. You know, that you don't cross this line. And,
No, it happens, man. So like this week, I said it earlier in the chat, but like this week they brought up the whole beard thing, and not just me, other people, but for whatever reason, I was the one that was the main focus. And I had a lot of people giving me shit about my beard all week, and my boss came to me the other day and said something again when the barber was there and said, you can go see Pierre and Pierre can, trim your beard. And I'm like, all right, I'm done, dude.
Yeah.
This is it right here. I'm done. And I just let him have it. I didn't care. I'm like, dude, you got to understand where I'm coming from. I've been here so many years, and this is the first time I'm here and there's any kind of length requirement that you're telling me now it magically appeared for my beard. When there are many other people in this plant, and some who are in management level, who have beards longer than mine, but somehow mine's a problem. Yeah. I lost it, man. I just let him have it, and I don't care. At that point, I was done with it.
Well, in this particular case, I didn't care, and I'm better than that.
Yep. We're running short on time, boys. We need to start going through the room.
Yeah. I didn't mean to take up so much time. So that was my week, and it was other than that, I had a pretty good week.
Like a Dr. Phil show.
You know what, Mario? I think that would be something fantastic you'd be great at, is doing a weekly live stream of a Dr. Phil kind of type show, man. I think you'd be fantastic at that.
I probably need it.
I mean, just look at the eyebrows, man. The eyebrows do everything. That's all you need.
The rock there. There you go.
So, Hillbilly, you want to go first, or is Gizzard Gary having his show tonight? Do we know?
Yeah, I think he's having a show tonight, and then next week he's going to move it. But
next week he goes to Monday.
Show tonight. Man, thanks a lot for having me on here. Always fun, always a blast. Man, just appreciate each and every one of you. I just went and looked recently at the GoFundMe, and it's up to $3,356. That's awesome, folks. Thanks for pitching in, helping that young couple out. And like I said, tomorrow night, 9 o'clock Central, 10 o'clock Eastern, we'll be doing the giveaway for that there. And so if you can join us, I'm sure love to have you. Thanks a lot for having me. Appreciate y'all.
Tell them quickly about our new friend, Firearms Fellowship.
Yeah. Jeremy, yeah. Great guy. Looks like a great channel. We just Monday night is the first time I met him. Nibs brought him on the show, Walnut and Still, evidently they knew each other. And so, looking forward to, checking out more of his stuff. So, it's Firearms and Fellowship. So go check him out.
Well, let's see who's up next. Scotsman, what do you got going on this week, buddy? You got any videos coming up? I haven't seen a whole lot from you on the videos. I know you're busy and whatnot.
Yeah, so folks, I do apologize for the lack of videos. Y'all know I got some things going on, and I'm not using that as an excuse. But I do apologize for the lack of videos. I do have some stuff coming up. I was supposed to do a video earlier this week for Jim and a couple other different things. But I do have some videos coming up for you folks. On a little bit of a long weekend this weekend because they're doing some upgrades at the plant. So have an extra day off this weekend. So we'll get a video out. Probably you'll probably see something tomorrow. And then on top of that, also for the folks that do know about my other channel of Pop Goes the Weasel, for those of you that know, I am the Weasel. I will be getting videos out there regular. That is one of the goals I want to make sure happens because that was something that was very, very important to me. And unfortunately, with all the stuff that I've had going on, again, not making excuses, but with everything that I've had going on, it's just been kind of tough to get out a weekly video over there. But that is going to happen. So please, if you haven't been over there already, jump over to Pop Goes the Weasel, and we will be getting a weekly video over there. At bare minimum, one a week. And I appreciate everyone out there. Appreciate always being here. Friday night is a fantastic night for me if I can make it, and always good to see everyone up in the side chat. Appreciate y'all, folks. Y'all rock it. Love y'all. Thank you. Scotsman out.
Very cool. 6, what's happening up your way? You got a match this weekend or what?
Yeah, they got a match in the morning, but we ain't going. It's 30 something degrees here, and it's supposed to be near freezing in the morning with possible drizzle, rain in the afternoon. So yeah, we're not going. I've been sick all week, and I ain't going to get out of it. So I'm going to stay in here. I got a bunch of components in and some reloading equipment in. I'm going to start loading some 44 mags and 44 specials for the contender. All jacketed stuff this time though, so experiment with some of that. But that's about all I've got going on.
Very good. Very good. We'll look forward to seeing some of that. I hope you're feeling better soon and get out of that bad weather so you can get to the range and get back to the cowboy shooting.
Yeah.
Mr. Hot Pot, what's happening up your way?
Good to be here tonight. We had some great topics, good discussions. First of the week was great. I have a lot of fun here every Friday night, but I found this too.
Oh, yeah.
Look at this.
Oh, boy. What happened to the rest of it?
I don't know. Someone cut that down. I don't know what they were trying to do with it, but you know.
What is it? What is it?
It's a
50-70?
50-70.
I can't imagine. I can't imagine what they were trying to do.
Yeah, but I got it.
Yeah.
It's sits on my computer.
Maybe they got a 50 caliber Derringer or something.
Yeah. Gonna make a powder dipper out of it.
There you go.
Yeah. Be a nice powder dipper. Let's see what I got going on this weekend. I got a GSSF shoot tomorrow morning. Last time out, I had a perfect 500 score and a 494. I'm hoping to stay up in the upper 490s tomorrow. That'd be really nice. Should be a good time. I shoot with a really good bunch of guys at a really nice local little podunk range. And it's a lot of fun to go see everybody. But let's see. Sunday, I'm going to go to the range because, well, I'm a member of an indoor range. We got 25-yard pistol bays and 100-yard rifle bays. So I'm going to go play around. So I still get to go shoot in the wintertime when it's sub-zero temperatures out. No, I'm number one in your book, Rebel.
I'm just
But,
scratching my nose, man.
I want to thank everybody out there for joining us tonight, and always have a good time with it. And that's what Hot Pot's got.
Very good. Mr. Kentucky Rimfire, Chad, what's up on out your way? Staying dry, I hope.
Yeah, we got snow after the flood, so I've not been able to go to the range. Been helping out with flood victims and stuff, so hopefully my life gets back to normal here in a little bit. And I still got some videos stored up to put out, and I'm getting some requests on that new Bagara I got, so we'll try to get back out with the Bagara and try some different things. Some people's contemplating buying one, but I guess they're relying on me to set the examples before they go buy one. So, Jamie, I appreciate the verse of the week. I know that you put a lot of time into that, and I know why you done it for the situation at hand. I appreciate that, and I appreciate being here as always. And that's what I got to say to close out tonight. Rebel.
Well, I kind of already told you Jamie's verse of the week kind of hit home with me, and we've had our mountains devastated as well by Helene, kind of like y'all in this last round. And my wife and I have taken. She finally said no, Moss. We didn't have the money to do anymore. We were eating bologna all week and giving to families and donating and people we don't know. And we found a couple of groups that were going up there that were church affiliated, and a buddy of mine drove up there. He's got a cabin north of Burnsville, and it's still terrible up there. There's people that have lost everything, just like Kentucky's talking about. And water is a lot worse than fire. Fire is you watch your stuff go away. Water just takes away and puts it somewhere else, and it puts people and animals and things other places, and sometimes you never see them again. And that's the way. I'm almost scared to go up in the mountains fishing because of what I might find on some creek somewhere, and it just makes me very melancholy. Mary has put a smile on my face tonight, and I appreciate it, Mary. Don't you do that to me, you stuck-up thing.
Mario, what do you got going on, buddy?
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Hey, man. I want to tell you guys something. JH's verse was more gooder, hit home, really resonated with me, and I thank you for doing that, because even though it was lengthy, a lot lengthier than your usual verses, there was a reason for it, and it hit home. So, and another thing I want to tell you guys is that natural disasters can hit anywhere. We live in a great country. And for as much as great infrastructure as we have, we still have a lot of flaws within our infrastructure. And what you're seeing right now in Eastern Kentucky, what you're seeing here in LA, with the recent fires, what we see in North Carolina, these are like major things that are happening. And just understand that, one day you can be fine, and the next day you're at a shelter with the American Cross, a blanket on your back, and you wonder what the heck happened. So whenever you can, please give to those affected, because it does help them. In many cases, it's not just the monetary aspect of it, but when people care about others and they see that, is somebody calling? Oh yeah.
Time for someone to take their meds.
No, my daughter's calling me. She's probably wants to see my grandson. But yeah, so like I was saying, guys, whenever you can, please help out others because it really does help. And I don't have anything else going on this week, guys. I'm just gonna try to work on those reloads that Viejo gave me. So that is pretty much all I got. God bless you guys all. Have a good night.
Very good.
Night,
Thank you,
Mario.
Mario. I'll go real quick. I got a couple videos coming out Sunday on Rumble, kind of a little different direction, and then we got a Moldy Monday coming up this coming Monday. So I'll leave it at that. Jamie, you want to tell us what you're up to and take us out of here? Maybe not.
Oh, I
Where's
know
Jamie?
he's frustrated.
Can you
Yeah.
hear me now?
Yes,
I
sir.
can hear you now.
Okay, quickly. Kentucky Rimefire, the reason I did that particular verse and that particular devotion tonight is because I've been doing a series in my Sunday school class about end times prophecies, and that was
We
Lost you
lost
again,
for a
Jamie.
second. Sure, he'll be right back, I bet.
Yep.
Yep, just hang tight, folks.
where I was, and the Spirit got on me this morning, and I wasn't going. Can you hear me now?
Can hear you
Yeah.
now.
We love you, and there ain't nothing you can do about it. We hope the Lord blesses y'all real good, and if He's willing, we'll see you next Friday night at 8 o'clock. Say good night, y'all.
Good night,